all the dignitaries, guests and kindly unmute all the audio. Mute.
Hello, check. Hello.
Good morning to all dignitaries, guests and delegates. I feel privileged to extend welcome to all presented here for the pre-Siddha Day event, National Webinar on Significance of the Minor Millets and Siddha System of Medicine for Healthy Life, organized by the Siddha Clinical Research Unit, Bengaluru. Functioning under the Central Council for Research in Siddha, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India, in association with the University of Transdisciplinary Health Sciences and Technology, Helanka, Bengaluru. Ministry of Ayush, Government of India has accorded approval to observe the birthday of Siddhar Agasthyar as National Siddha Day. As Siddhar Agasthyar birth star is Margali Ayiliyam, accordingly, 6th Siddha Day event will be observed on 9th January 2023 at Tirchi, organized by CCRS and NIS in association with the Directorate of Indian Medicine and Homeopathy with the support of Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. This 6th Siddha Day is aimed to create knowledge on the theme Siddha Diet and Nutrition for Healthy Life. To mark this event, National Webinar is conducted by SCRU, Bengaluru. Let's begin the program with invocation, Siddhar Vanakkam, and let us all stand up for the same.
நற்றவத்து புலத்தியரும் பூனை கண்ணர் நந்தியிடை காடரும் போகர் புலிக்கை ஈசர் கரூரார் கொங்கணவர் காலாஞ்சி சிந்தியழு கண்ணர் அகப்பேயர் பாம்பாட்டி தேரையரும் குதம்பயரும் சட்டைநாதர் செந்தமிழ் சேர் சித்தர் பதினெண்மற்பாதம் சிந்தையுன்னி சிரத்தணியாய் சேர்த்தி வாழ்வார். ஓம் நம சிவாய. அரிய.
Thank you.
Our chief guests are requested to light the Kuttu Vilakku, and with all respect, I would like to request other dignitaries to join them. Kindly mute one. Thank you all. Let's invite Dr. M. Kannan sir to honor our guest.
நான் எப்ப தெரியுங்களா இந்த விஷயம்
To deliver the welcome
அப்ப போய் கேட்டேன் நான். இன்னைக்கு என்ன ஆகும் இது அப்படின்னு மனசுல இருந்துச்சு.
Kindly mute yourself.
Very good morning to one and all present here. Through online, sorry for the interruptions, due to some technical activities, technical default, we have switched over from Microsoft Teams to Zoom. So all the online participants, kindly mute yourself for the completion of the entire session. If you have any queries, kindly raise your hands, we will give you opportunity to you. Very prosperous, healthy and happy New Year 2023 to one and all present here. At the outset, I touch the lotus feet of Siddhar Agathir and 18 Siddhar. I welcome you all for this pre-Siddha Day event with the topic of national webinar on significance of minor millets and Siddha system of medicine for healthy lifestyle. ஆரோக்கிய வாழ்விற்கு சிறுதானியங்களின் முக்கியத்துவமும் சித்த மருத்துவமும் ஒரு தேசிய வலையரங்கம். I am privileged to stand here to welcome you all to this grand event. This webinar is convened in commemoration of 6th Siddha Day, which will be held on 9th January 2023 with the theme of diet and nutrition for a healthy life. Food is medicine, medicine is food is one of the core doctrine mentioned in Siddha classics for a healthy life. This maxim indicates the importance of healthy eating and a balanced diet. To highlight the significance of food and nutrition, the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, has also declared the year 2023 as the International Year of Millets. So this 6th Siddha Day is aimed to create knowledge on the theme Siddha Diet and Nutrition for Healthy Life. This webinar is specifically aimed to create insight into the role of minor millets and the Siddha system for a healthy life through scholars who are experts in this field. With immense pleasure, I welcome the Chairman, Indian Institute of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine, Managing Trustee of FRLHT and Founder Vice Chancellor, Transdisciplinary University, TDU, Bangalore, the most respected Padma Shri, Shri Darshan Sangar Sir, then Advisor, ISM Planning Commission, Government of India. Sir has given the consent without any hesitation and ignite us to do a lot more in Siddha research. We welcome you, sir. I would like to invite our beloved Director General, Additional Charge and Director, National Institute of Siddha, Professor Dr. R. Meena Kumari, a dynamic leader who is going to deliver the presidential address in this August gathering. We welcome you, ma'am. Wholeheartedly, I welcome our brother, renowned speaker, prolific writer, Siddha physician, a passionate environmentalist, and a connoisseur of organic food, multifaceted personality, Dr. G. Sivaraman, Managing Director, Arogya Healthcare, Member Planning Commission, Government of Tamil Nadu now. We are honored to have you, sir, and warm welcome to you, sir. A warm welcome to a Center Head, Center for Community Health, Clinical Research and Education, University of Transdisciplinary Health Sciences and Technology, Bangalore, India, and Adjunct Professor and Member, Board of Studies, SRM School of Public Health, Chennai, India, the most respected Professor Dr. Unnikrishnan Payyapallimana. Welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. Atul Kumar Gupta, Registrar of TDU Campus. I welcome you, sir. I invite the Emeritus Professor and Head, Personal Certification Body, Center for Local Health Traditions and Policy, Mentor and Founding Member, National Traditional Healers Network India, Coordinator, National Medicinal Plants Conservation Network India, Professor G. Adiramurthy, sir, the University of Transdisciplinary Health Sciences and Technology, Bangalore, who has contributed well to organize this webinar along with SARE Bangalore. We welcome you, sir. President, Center for Traditional Medicine and Research, Chennai, popular Siddha physician, Dr. R. Bhatmapriya, who is going to contribute to the technical session. We welcome you, ma'am. My friend, Dr. R. Manikavasagam, Research Officer, Siddha Clinical Research Unit, Bangalore, and my dear friends and colleagues from various organizations and TDU, Bangalore, hearty welcome to all of you to this national webinar. I submit my sincere thanks to Honorable Secretary Vaidya Rajesh Koteja ji and Special Secretary, Sir, Ministry of Finance, Government of India, and CCRS Headquarters, Chennai. Last but not the least, the passionate delegates from various Siddha medical colleges, students, faculty members, research officials from CCRS institutions and units, and CCRS Headquarters Office, delegates of various fields from the TDU campus, and practitioners. Without you, this event would not be meaningful. I welcome you all to this grand gathering. I hope you will be enriched by our technical speakers and our authorities who has adorned the dais. Once again, I welcome you all and thanks for everyone.
Thank you, sir. Sir, let's invite Dr. M. Kannan, sir, to honor our guest, Padma Shri Dr. Darshan Shankar, Vice Chancellor, TDU, Bangalore, with shawl and memento as a token of gratitude. Thank you, sir. I am profusely elated to take an opportunity to welcome Padma Shri Dr. Darshan Shankar, Vice Chancellor, TDU, and founder of IAIM Healthcare, to deliver the inaugural address.
My respects to the Director General of the National Institute of, the Council, the Siddha Council, to Dr. Shivaraman, the member of the Tamil Nadu Planning Commission, to various my colleagues, to various participants who are online, and my own colleagues from TDU. I have a great deal of respect for the Siddha knowledge system, and it is not historically properly established. It's not historically properly established the actual origins and the antiquity of the Siddha knowledge system. But we know that the Tamil language itself, and I'm talking about Old Tamil, is one of the oldest and one of the independent scripts that we have. It is independent even of the Sanskrit language tradition. So it's an independent. And so far as medicine goes, of course, it is well known that the largest number of medical manuscripts written in Old Tamil, which are written in Old Tamil, that Tamil Nadu has the largest number of medical manuscripts anywhere in the country. You don't have that many medical manuscripts except in Sanskrit, but you don't have them in any other language, whether it is Malayalam, or whether it's Oriya, or whether it is Kannada, any Marathi. There are manuscripts in Kashmir, etc. But the largest number of regional manuscripts are found in Tamil Nadu, written in Old Tamil. So one knows that the amount of exploration in depth of health sciences has been done in Tamil Nadu. Agastya Muni, which is today's birthday is that of Agastya Muni. Agastya Muni is of course well known, one of the great 18 Siddhas, whose writings are not only related to medicine, which is one field in which he wrote, but he has written on a large number of subjects, and Agastya, the Rishi, the Muni, is known all over India. Many of you may be surprised to know that Agastya Muni was actually born in Maharashtra. To the extent that you can accept local sort of beliefs. He was born in a village which I visited in Ahmednagar, near Sangamner, in Ahmednagar district in Maharashtra. I visited the actual place which is on the bank of a river, where there is a small temple to commemorate the place where he was born. And local people say that when they bathe as they do early morning hours in that river, they sometimes have the good fortune of actually seeing Agastya Muni in the river. This is all part of different. It's part of the spiritual traditions of this country. So Agastya Muni is also very well known in Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is in the Himalayan region. So while Tamil Nadu also has a great following for Agastya Muni, but he is equally respected in all over India, in fact, and even in Uttarakhand. So I'm just saying that in passing, and the photographs that you see of visualization of Agastya Muni is of a short, but those who have encountered him say that he is tall and not short. Now, one doesn't know, because this happened thousands of years ago, and these are people who are chiranjeevs, so to say, so Anyway, but it's a very good thing that Siddha Day is being celebrated, that Agastya Muni, in his name, this day is being celebrated. And I think Siddha knowledge system, given its depth, should be more widely celebrated in this country. Millets, of course, is a good theme for this day. And I know that there is a great deal of knowledge, much more detailed than we think, available about the different kinds of millets. And particularly at this time, when we face lots of problems in health which are related to diabetes, which are related to fat metabolism, then in the literature, the grain that has been advised of choice is millets. So millets are very, very relevant for the conditions of our times, and I'm sure that the speakers today on this theme will throw light on the knowledge that the Siddha knowledge system has about millets. I wish the entire program success. TDU would like to, I have said this before to officials of the Siddha Council and the National Institute of Siddha and so on and so forth, that we would be very happy to look at a long-term collaboration with the Siddha institutions. But we want to collaborate on some subject that can have vast or widespread social impact. So we don't want to do this in a small way in the sense we should select something that is there in the, select a subject in the Siddha system. It could be food and nutrition. But we should be looking at a program where we can impact millions of people. And we should design a program like that. And that is the kind of program that we would like to explore with the Siddha institutions. So, my good wishes and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your aspiring words. It's our immense pleasure to invite Dr. Unnikrishnan Payapalimana, Head, Center for Community Health, TDU, to deliver the felicitation address through virtual mode.
Hello, am I audible?
Audible, sir.
Is it better now?
Yes, sir. You can continue, please.
Yeah, okay. So, first of all, let me congratulate all the organizers of this 6th Siddha pre-day event and the organizers of this national webinar on minor millets and Siddha nutrition. This is a very timely subject as we are celebrating the National Siddha Day on 9th January. I think this is hello, can Can you
please
hear me?
continue.
Yeah, I was muted in between. Sorry about that. So I think we all know very well about the importance of balanced diet and nutrition in health and wellness. At the same time, I think the stark public health reality is that around 40% of our population, and especially adolescent young girls, are anemic. So I think, Siddha fraternity has shown a huge commitment in last 15 to 20 years in public health approaches. And as a public health observer and a researcher, I have seen how these Siddha public health approaches have grown in last 2 decades. So I think taking this new approach on nutrition with a special focus on public health, I think will be a huge contribution from the Siddha fraternity. And I think what Siddha has shown in 20 years is that in a generalized approach, in a very standardized methodology, the Siddha community can tackle issues like be it chikungunya, be it dengue, or even the recent, during the COVID epidemic. It is highly standardized, highly systematic approach, and more than 7 crore people within the state and outside benefited from this approach. So I think we have also seen in last 3 years in the COVID and post-COVID period, there is enormous research evidence that is coming out of Siddha medicine. And this is really a welcome development. And you have very high impact publications from the Siddha community. So I think we are in the right direction. We need to develop more evidence-based approaches and more and more research capacity. And I think it's important to focus on such more generalized public health approaches to nutrition, just not on minor millets, but the whole culinary culture around the usage of our bioresources. That's really important. So once again, I congratulate. I'm sorry that I may not be clearly audible. I apologize for that. So congratulations to the organizers and looking forward to the Siddha Day and participating in the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to invite His Excellency Dr. G. Shivaraman, Managing Director, Arogya Healthcare, Member of Planning Commission, Government of India, for extending felicitation.
Respected Chairman and Founder Vice Chancellor Dr. Darshan Shankarji, Registrar Dr. Gupta, and veteran professor and lead for folklore regional health researcher Dr. Hari Ramamurthy, and my friend colleague Dr. Kannan, Dr. Manikya Vasagam, and dear friends. First of all, wish you all very happy New Year and my National Siddha Day wishes. Really, I feel very happy because almost a month before, I think here in TDU, I heard that the beautiful happening, it was happened in the Ayush 2047 vision document. At the time, I was supposed to come here, I planned to come, and unfortunately, because of another state government commitment, I couldn't able to come and participate. At the time, I discussed with many of my friends here, as well as who had participated here, what has happened there, and what kind of approach they are taking in Vision 2047, what we have to learn from TDU and their initiative. All these things I discussed with my friend Dr. Satyanaraya's friend on the day. Really, I feel very happy now with the legendary visionarian Dr. Darshan Shankar is here, as well as Dr. Kannan had given this nice opportunity to share few words in the commemorance of National Siddha Day. As Dr. Darshan Shankar and the previous speaker, Mr. Unnikrishnan, initiated, I would like to share some views about what we can collaborate. I first of all thank Dr. Darshan Shankar ji for coming forward to think about collaboration, long-term collaboration for Siddha research with the TDU. Really, sir, I thank for from the heart of the Siddha community. We have to do a lot of things here. First of all, I would like to say, very importantly, the usage of functional foods in Siddha is huge. As Unikrishan ji also indicated, with the initiation of more than 35 years of various intervention with iron supplements as well as many program by public health department, still unfortunately in India most of the states are having 40 to 45% of people are in anemia. I understand few people are from Tripura. In Tripura is nearly, I think, 65 to 67% of people are in anemic. And even in Bangalore and Chennai, Hyderabad, Delhi, where there we are equal with cosmopolitan cities of around the globe, and other side we are still 25 to 27% of our children are wasted and stunted. What we are going to do for those people? This theme, the diet and nutrition for healthy life, not only for the people who are affordable, for who are people who are in big classes and all. Actually, we should think as an Ayush personality, as a Siddha personality, as an Ayurvedic personality, we should think of the people of grassroots people of India, where really we can give a big impact with our own millets and functional food. This is my strong apprehension in the last 15-20 years of continuous watching this. Many of the inferences from food scientists like Dr. Gopal of National Institute of Nutrition, recently he died in this year of 101 year. He is the legendary nutritionist in our country. Here also indicated in his book, the minor millet can give a big impact on anemia eradication. So what I can request Dr. Darshan Jankarji, why not Siddha and your TDU Institute can jointly do a program on exclusively for anemia eradication for the people of India. So this we can definitely work on that. Today morning when I am waiting in the lobby of in the Chennai airport, I saw one book by the Siddharth Mukherjee. I recently read the review of the book. I was supposed to buy the book on that day. Today I had some time, I bought the book. The book is The Song of the Cell, the book. Earlier he had written a book called The Emperor of Melodies about cancers. That book had given a big impact to me, and after that only I had written a book on Tamil about Uyir Pillai. Also I had a passion to read his book, The Song of Cell. I took and I had only half an hour, 40 minutes time. So I just opened the book, and my interest was the platelets, because that the last 10 years I can say, 10 or 12 years, after the again the induction of the chikungunya, the last pandemic COVID, all the zoonosis viruses is giving big impact on T cells and platelets. So what he had written about T cells and platelets, it was my passion, and I read it, and that day a single word I had understand. Someone should find way how to increase the thrombocytes and how to improve the red blood cell, how to improve the impact of T cells against the viruses as well as cancers. So my view is we have to work on the one side, we have to work on the traditional fundamentals of Ayush, and another side we should think about work on the modern T cells or modern platelets and other progenitor cell or stem cell, how these food can impact in both sides. So with that, you have a wonderful university, have the knowledge of one side you have big ancient knowledge is huge, and another side you have scientific community to work on the modern science. Our Siddha team here, Dr. Manikava Sagam as well as Dr. Kannan, both I know how they are dedicated with the Siddha system, and their publication, Dr. Kannan's recent publication in the COVID, the RCT trial on COVID is published in a very big impact journal last year. Almost 19 publication came in the indexed journal, in the number of total 24 article. So we are with a lot of scientific thirst, and we would like to explore as much as possibility in the language of science. And as rightly said, we should impact, we should give the nuances and real essence of Siddha to the common people and grassroots people with the science language. So this day, this Siddha day, the pre-Siddha day is a beautiful beginning. This is a wonderful beginning where a great visionarian with the Sampetroda, Dr. Darshan Shankar, who had really transformed the Ayush and transformed the local health tradition to the global era with a lot of 20, 25, 30 years input he had. If you really guide us and give some real guidance to Siddha system, which where we have some resources on unexploited herbs and traditional Siddha medicine, which is from the Kanyakumari to throughout Kashmir, it has expanded. Really today, I was really fascinated to hear that sage Agastya is not only in the Podigai top of Tamil Nadu, that is the real Podigai temple, the Agastya's temple. We all go and worship as sage Agastya is the founder and one among the 18 Siddha. Today only came to know he is not only with Podigai, he is in Maharashtra, one river bank, as well as in Uttarakhand. Yes, definitely on those days, now only there are a lot of classification, there are a lot of limitation, and there are a lot of borders. The man created borders are there. On those days there is no borders. Among the intellectuals really there is no borders. The intellectuals were from India to China they went, China to India they came, Roman to India they came, and India to Roman, everywhere intellectual with the quest of science, with the quest of the well-beingness of the people, they traveled a lot. Like that, there are a lot of similarities in Ayurveda and Siddha. There are a lot of peculiarity in Ayurveda and Siddha. Both are there. How it has happened? It is because of the exchange of ideas and exchange of the science, exchange of the experience that only give the lot of similarity and all other things. So today, that kind of exchange, that kind of happening has been begin with the Darshan Jangarji's commitment and word. Yes, sir, we are ready, and I think Dr. Meena Kumari also hearing from the National Institute of Siddha and Central Council of Research. She is also passionate towards research, and she is always advising our team members and our students to come with the good research inferences and all. So definitely we can work on that nutrition, on anemia and malnutrition. Because in Tamil Nadu, as a State Planning Commission member, we used to see a lot of numbers. Every week we are meeting with the health department. Whenever we see the numbers on how we are going to help those people who are still in the lower level of iron content. Because if a woman with this 7 or 8 level in the hemoglobin, the entire life of the child is going to come through the woman. That also going to suffer, as well as the woman also going to suffer. So for the both people, in the current Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, he had advised us, work on the first 1,000 days. I don't mind how best you have to give the best to the woman as well as the child. In the first 1,000 days, if you work, the next rest of their 70 years, they will live very well. So with that, we are working on lot of programs we are doing. We are concentrating on exclusively on through the district health assembly, state health assembly, national health mission, various parameters around we are working. With that also, with that experience also, I am really still, we will find a way to get the funding from state as well as central government, as well as we can pool the intellectuals from Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, TDU, everywhere. And please, with your visionary, with your expertise, form a big project on exclusively with the millets, and not only with the millets, with the traditional functional foods of both in Karnataka and in Tamil Nadu. We can join and write a project, and we will come up with a good solution to remove anemia from our society. This Siddha Day will pave the way for the big initiative. Thank you for giving me a nice opportunity. We will all work together and give a healthy India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. I would like to invite our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. R. Meena Kumari, Director General Additional Charge, CCRS, and Director, National Institute of Siddha, to deliver the presidential address. Due to various commitments and successive pre-Siddha Day events, Madam joined us through virtual mode. Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning, dear friends. The audio is very feeble from your side, and I don't know what is happening in your side. Shall I talk now?
Madam, please, madam. Continue, madam, please.
Your audio is fine.
Hello?
Madam, you are audible, ma'am. You can continue, please.
Is it okay for you can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Please continue, ma'am.
Shall I talk?
Yeah, please continue, ma'am.
Okay, now it's okay. Good morning, everyone. It's a very great morning to me and for Siddha also, because so many interdisciplinary webinars, seminars are going on. With the blessings of Almighty Siddhas, we are planning to celebrate our 6th Siddha Day event at Trichy, and parallelly it's going on all together in Tamil Nadu and entire India by the CCRS team, SCRU, Bangalore, SCRI, Chennai, and Trivandrum. Yeah, all the units are doing well. Your webinars are so informative, and so many participants are also here to hear. I am very happy to have all of you here in this webinar, and it's an interesting topic here because parallelly the world is celebrating our traditional millets and its participation and its contribution towards healthy life, and it is a platform to discover and rediscover the efficacy of our millets and traditional benefits. We can find out the traditional benefits throughout the usage of millets in our day-to-day life. Ancient days, our ancestors are well designed, are having well designed and well civilized pattern of lifestyle and food habits. In this platform, we are also discovering the pattern of their ancient time practices, and it is very exciting to know about the benefits scientifically. Of course, Dr. Shivaraman well mentioned, he is the person who always insists everyone, everywhere, every stage and every minutes of his life. He is insisting usage of millets and its benefits by its scientific evidences, and fortunately we are having this year as a millet year. So this information, this webinar is going to develop a great awareness in our millet practices. Our diet practices are well designed by our ancestors, and we have to discover the scientific benefits behind our diet pattern and our lifestyle modifications, lifestyle practices. And actually, I am in a hurry to attend some other meeting in NIS, even though I want to join with you in this great occasion. And so many, our Dr. Satya Rajeshwaran is here, and Dr. Samuel, and from NIS people, some other GSMC people, various other transdisciplinary university people are also here. We have to develop a new kind of integrative research projects in food aspects also, not only in clinical aspects, but also lifestyle and food aspects also. We have to develop such a clinical clinical evidences and the clinical benefits we have to find out. And I request each and every scientist to work on our traditional methods and food habits. And I request all our Siddha scientists, young developing budding scientists are here. Please concentrate on our traditional methods, because so many ideologies are there. Without knowing their basic concepts, we are simply saying it is non-scientific like that. But it's not true. We all are aware. We have to find the basic concept behind every practices and every food habits. In our for an example, I want to quote one simple practice. Now also we are nowadays in our houses we are practicing for our adolescent girls. We are practicing our bendekali, ulundangali, yellu urundai, like that. So these are all having so many impacts in PCOS like that. Developing adolescent girls are practiced like this food habits. We may get some their genital tracts may be very healthy, and they may be prevented from some PCOS like that. So these food habits are very effective in our lifestyle practices. So I request everyone to follow our traditional practices, and scientists like our Siddha fraternity and other transdisciplinary people, please come forward and join together with us to find out the basic principles and scientific factors behind our food habits. So this is the right time to develop such a kind of practice in our life, and we have to make aware about these habits in our public system also. Dr. Sivaraman is taking so much of pain and so much of efforts to make awareness in our state, in our Tamil Nadu state, and it should go national wide, and our practices should go nationwide and global level. So these practices, everyone should know about. Our traditional methods are very scientific, systematic, and very beneficial also. This has to be get into practice in everyone's life. So we are working on it, and people like you and people like Sivaraman and CCRS and NIS, they are taking so much of efforts with the help of constantly with the help of NIEC, ICMR. They are also supporting us, and scientific people everywhere in India, everywhere in Tamil Nadu, not only in Karnataka. Please come forward to find out these traditional practices and its benefits through the scientific methods, so that only the scientific world will accept our system. It's our duty to explore these kind of possibilities, and we have to work together. And I wish everyone and for a very great new year and a very great successful Siddha Day celebration. We have to continue the celebration, our not only in Siddha Day and throughout the year and every day in our life. It's our duty, and we have to do it happily. I request everyone to do this in your practice and in your near and dear ones. So I'm sorry, because I want some calls. People are waiting for me, and I am very happy to join here. And thanks, Dr. Kannan, to arrange such a great webinar. It's a grand one, it seems, through the Zoom meeting. So I congratulate everyone, and I wish everyone for a very great success of this 6th Siddha Day celebrations. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for providing your precious time to join us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
would like to invite Honorable Professor G. Hariramamurthy, Emeritus Professor and Head, Center for Local Healthy Traditions and Policy, TDU, for extending felicitation.
Good morning to the dignitaries and to my colleagues and students. I was born in Tamil Nadu. I was brought up by my elders. As a young child, she used to tell we used to see rice once in a way. We lived most of our lifetime eating millets. I am now 67-year-old. During last 17 years, I have had difficult times in managing diabetes, and in the last 2-3 years, problems of age has added cardiac problems. I think millet has been supporting me in my personal life for last 17 years. I was on insulin, I have come out of it. And also along with other practices like yoga, it's important to maintain other aspects of lifestyle. I can say 2-3 things just to highlight how important it has been for tribals, because I am visiting Nilgiris from the age of 7. I am now 67, 60 years. They have been eating millets. I have gone to so many villages, and even recently, whenever I went, they made some sweets made of millets and hosted. So the millet is poor man's diet, because my own family used to eat in the famine days the tubers, which we call as Sakravalli Kalangu. I don't know the botanical name. So for poor, in our country, in Africa and so many countries I have visited, millet has been an enormous source of life and energy. The education has brought a great divide between the people who have moved away to the industrial agricultural products. Now, stunted children, anemia, so many things that we are witnessing, I would say is because we have drifted away from our benefits of our own traditional crops in search of whatever we might call it as development. This is a very right time that we are rediscovering the importance of millets. At least I have heard in my life 17 millets I have tasted in our own India. So I think what Dr. Darshanji and Sivaraman proposed, it should not remain only as a proposal, because I think I am attending 3 times meetings with Siddha Council. I have heard my Guru Darshanji repeatedly telling we must look at collaboration, and I think this is time to work on this concept, the Siddha, millets, nutrition and a public cause, anemia. And my colleagues have worked in Nilgiris. Prakash is there, he has done some work in Nilgiris with their local medicinal plants and food crops. So I think with these words, calling for collaboration, I conclude my felicitation. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Before the technical session begin, I request respected Dr. R. Manikavasagam, Research Officer, SCRE Bengaluru, to deliver the formal vote of thanks.
Good morning to all and a very happy new year. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver a vote of thanks on this special occasion. First of all, I would like to thank Almighty and our Siddhas, especially Siddha Agastya, because we are here only for celebrate on the auspicious day of his birth date. So then I would like to thank our beloved Director General, Additional Charges, Professor Dr. Meena Kumari, who is also a Director, National Institute of Siddha, who delivered a presidential address and continues for her continuous support. Then I would like to thank Sri Darshan Shankar, Vice Chancellor, TDU sir, who honored this event with his inaugural speech on this occasion. Then I would like to thank Sri Unni Krishnan, Head, Center for Community Health, TDU, and Atul Kumar Gupta ji, Registrar, TDU, then from faculties and faculties from TDU. It is a great honor and a privilege to say thanks to my big brother, media face of Siddha and Millet man, we are saying, Dr. K. Sivaraman, Managing Director, Arakya Healthcare, and also who is also a member, Planning Commission, Government of Tamil Nadu. Thank you. Then not only for felicitation, he is going to present one of the mind-blowing, I hope, because we are growing with hearing of his word and lecture and these things. So it will be definitely energy-packed session. I am also eagerly waiting for that session. Special thanks, sir. Then I would like to thank Dr. Batman Priya, who is the President, CTMR, Chennai, for her upcoming, he is also going to present one topic about nutrition, Siddha, this thing. Then I would like to thank my colleague and my mentor or my friend, Dr. M. Kannan, RO Siddha, in charge, Siddha Clinical Research Unit, for delivering a welcome address. And actually, we have planned this program for past 1 week and these things. So I give special thanks to my colleague. Then I would like to thank participants and the SCRU staffs and the TDU staff. Without your contribution and without your presence, we cannot fulfill this webinar. So I hope this webinar will be very useful. Those who are interested in Siddha diet and millets. On behalf of our Siddha fraternity, I wish special Siddha Day wishes to all, not only for our Siddha community. Thanks one and all.
I would like to invite Dr. G. Shivaraman sir to deliver his presentation. Welcome, sir.
We are most awaited. The technical session begins now. The first technical session and the very energy-packed, mind-blowing informations related on the minor millets and Siddha system of medicine. I welcome our brother, renowned speaker, and very importantly, prolific writer, a Siddha physician, a passionate environmentalist, and a connoisseur of organic food, multifaceted personality, Dr. G. Sivaraman sir.
who is a member in Planning Commission of Government of Tamil Nadu. Actually, today is a very important day. We have a former Planning Commission member, Government of India, Shri Darshan Sankarji C, and Dr. G. Shivaraman, current Planning Commission, Government of Tamil Nadu member. So really it's a very privileged session. So I request all the participants kindly mute yourself and hear from informations, whatever he is going to share. We are awaiting, sir. Sir, the stage is yours, please.
Well, thank you once again, Dr. Kannan, given me the good opportunity to share some views on diet and nutrition and functional foods of Siddha. Really, once again, thank you for the from my bottom of the heart to this transdisciplinary university. Actually, every these kind of meetings only will come up with a good idea and good start, and so many good happening started in a small thing. Today, when you were the chancellor of this university, I told about the give you an initiation about the why not Siddha and TDU, Siddha department, Siddha council and TDU join hands and work on a good project which can help the millions of people. He had thrown a big question to our people. So definitely this will be the good start. I can again ensure Dr. Hariramamurthy that it won't be left only in the stage and only in the mic. Dr. Kannan, myself will definitely took it as an important initiative, and we will work on the best to come up with a good project proposal. Let us work for the people. I hear lately from when you said about the Nilgiris, recently as a part of a planning commission meeting, we went to Nilgiris and visited so many healers of various cult. There are several traditional cult were there. Those people came, and we had a one-day continuous meeting. In that meeting, I was really astonished that every group is having their own traditional healing technologies and traditional functional food, and their celebration and their festivals with their God. They are offering, there are several traditional food. I still remember one temple they told about Ethiyappan Koil, and in the Ethiyappan they had offered one sweet which is made with the kodo millet, samai. With the samai, with coconut milk and all, they made some beautiful sweet. And with their discussion, I understand there are several greens which is not much explored and exploited by both the nutritive culinary group as well as the therapeutic group. They are using that greens and the greeny leafy vegetables for from common knee pain, arthritis to various ailments they are using. So definitely when we walk with the people, when we mix with the people, when we really hear their voices patiently, we can explore many possibilities. So these kind of conferences and these kind of initiative workshops really motivate us to work on the work towards that goals and all. With that words, I would like to go to the presentation. When Dr. Kannan told about this initiative, I immediately think about why not we can share some view about functional foods, which is not much exploited, much unexplored. I put a word unexplored traits. Traits means doesn't mean only a treasure. It's a concept, unexplored concept we can say in Siddha. In Siddha, if you take the word Siddha, which the bottom line of Siddha is mainly we have to treat the imbalanced three dosha through the taste only. So with that fundamental ideology, we always understand food is medicine and medicine is food. This is the bottom line of Siddha. I firmly understand all the traditional system of medicine in the world. If it is it's an Ayurveda, Unani, Arab medicine, Chinese medicine, Kampo medicine, Sujok medicine, everywhere they are insisting food is medicine. So we have to concentrate on food. If you give better food, if you give appropriate food for the appropriate age, definitely one can come out of the clutches of many ailments. So functional food, the word is itself, I can tell it is an oxymoron, I can tell.
If it is not functional, we won't call it as a food. In Tamil, there is a phrase, every food is functional. So the functional food is a newly word coined by the Westerners. For them, it is a new word. So I will explain what is functional food. For Tamils, it's actually an oxymoron. We can say if it is not a functional, we won't call it as a food at all. So what are the three key concepts in my understanding? The fundamental is உணவெனப்படுவது நிலத்தோடு நீரே. It is a Tamil phrase. There are many definitions about food is available. If you Google it, what is food, it will give a lot of explanation, which gives calories, which gives energy, which will reduce the hunger, which will give a lot of explanation is coming. In old days, in Purananuru, in Sangha Tamil, there is one question was there, what is food? So for that, one big literarian or a saint or a scholar, he had explained, உணவெனப்படுவது நிலத்தோடு நீரே. What it means? Food is nothing but earth and water. If you mix the earth and water, you can get the food in any form, whatever is a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, or using a roots or you're using a meat, whatever it is, all composed of either earth and water. So in other way, what we have to understand, for the food, we should not disturb the earth and water. So other way we have to understand. And the second one is a very famous couplet from our Asan Thiruvalluvar. It is உணவெனப்படுவது. What is மருந்தன வேண்டாவாம் யாக்கைக்கு அருந்தியது அற்றது போற்றி உண்ணேன். This is one of the fantastic couplet from the Tirukkural. In Tirukkural, there are 133 chapters. In each chapter, 10 couplets are there. And if it is about education, they will give 10 phrases. If it is about discipline, they will give 10 phrases. If it is about anything, they will give relevant to the topic, they have 10 couplets will be there. One interesting thing is that in the topic of marundu, medicine, there are 10 couplets. Among the 10, 7 is about food. It is very interesting factor. About the medicine, they could have told about the Ayurveda, they could have told about on those days theories, on those days Vedas, whatever they could have told. But they, in the 10 couplets, 7, they told about the importance of the food. So in that only they had given the marundana vendavam yakeki. You don't need medicine at all. If your food is assimilated well, which is without nothing left alone. That is the meaning of that marundana vendavam yakeki. Arundiyadu attradu. Attradu means completely assimilated. Don't left nothing in that. Only the junk and is coming in the feces. That is called arundiyadu attradu. Another word arundiyadu is also very important. They didn't tell about our teacher that Thiruvalluvar didn't tell sapitadu or vilingiyadu. He told they used the word arundiyadu, which means while swallow it should be a liquid form. It should be in the liquid form. You may take a meat, or you may take a root, or you may take a coarse green. You have to squeeze it with your teeth, and you have to mix with your salivary enzyme and make it as a colloidal, make it as a watery part. Then only you can use the word swallow. You can use the word arundiyadu in Tamil. So it is one of the very key couplet according to me. And third one is very, very important, pasittu pusi. Only if you have hunger, you have to eat. If you don't have hunger, then either you don't need food or you have some disease. If you are working hard, if you have a lot of things but you don't have a proper hunger, then that means your pitta, your agni is not good. Then you have some problem in your health. If your pitta is not good, your agni is not good, if you take food, that will give a lot of trouble to you. So pasittu pusi is one of the very, very, very important phrase given by the Tamil community. So with these key concepts only, the entire food practices and food cult of Tamil society were there. Next slide please. According to both Siddha, Ayurveda and Unani and all traditional system of medicine, 3 important disciplines they had told. And the 3 pillars of life they tell. What is this? First is food. Food is one of the major pillars. Second is urakam, sleep. Sleep is another important. The third one is Olukam, discipline. So there are different kind of explanation given by various teachers of Siddha and Ayurveda. Some people about food, there are different explanation. If you take it as a discipline, some teachers in Ayurveda, in Charaka, they told it is about brahmacharyam and celibacy. In Tamil, it is they told about the discipline as a olukam, that is Nal olukam, Kala olukam, everything. So this is the three important factors in our life, and I can say three pillars of our life. One is food, and second is sleep and olukam. I am going to tell about the food. Next slide. The food, every food or every herb or every in the prapancham, everything they classified according to 6 tastes. Taste is the gunam defined as the inherent property of a substance. Each substance may has one or more taste. You may aware that many herbs or many fruits or many vegetables have one or more taste will be there. Not only with one taste. If you take nellikai, it will have more than 5. All 6 tastes will be there. It won't have a fully ripened sweet taste in the first bite. But after taking a water, it will give a sweet taste also. So like that, there are either one taste or 6, all the 6 or 2 or 3 tastes will be there. The first taste is primarily understood by our saliva and our tongue. The second taste, that in Ayurveda they called as anurasa, in our Siddha also they told about the second taste, and the final vipakam is the third taste, which is after swallowing the final post digestion, one taste will be there, which is not understood by our tongue, but our body, our cell, our brain will understand the taste. That is called vipaka. And all the 6 tastes that underpin digestion are sweet, that is inipu, sour, pulipu, salty, uppu, pungent karam, bitter, kasapu, and astringent, tuvarpu. I couldn't able to understand. I cannot able to accept the word astringent for tuvarpu. Tuvarpu is beyond astringent according to my understanding. But so now this is the only connecting or only closest word we can compare the tuvarpu. So this sweet, sour, salty, pungent, bitter and astringent taste should be in our everyday diet. Every day we should take all these 6 tastes. You people may think that are we taking all the 6 tastes? If you just recall the last 1 week, had you taken every day, had you taken bitter taste, or every day had you taken the astringent taste? Most of the people you won't take. Astringent maybe take it 1 or 2 days. There are some example, plantain flower, which is giving a astringent taste, or pahakai. If you take only chundakai, that's solanum, or if you take bitter gourd, then only you will take the bitter taste, or some curry leaf or some fenugreek, then that only will give a bitter taste. So all the 6 tastes should have, because every taste has some philosophy behind that. Next slide please. Each taste will have 2 elements in that. With the earth and water, sweet taste is coming. With the earth and fire, sour taste. With water and fire, salt taste. Ether and air, bitter taste is coming. And air with fire, only that pungent, spicy taste is coming. And earth and with air, only astringent taste. So this is the key ideology, key fundamentals of Siddha. We treat the patient, we understand the diagnosis, we understand the protocol, everything based on these 6 tastes and the elements behind that only. In the food also, if based on the taste only, the person, whether he will treat himself or he create some diseases, all based on the 6 tastes only. Next slide. You see the relationship between the Suvai and the 3 humours. We know in the Tamil we have a couplet in the Marudha Adhigaram. It's a very, very fundamental phrase about the Siddha system of medicine. The unique phrase of Siddha medicine we can say, Miginum, Kurayinum, Noi Seyyum, Nulur, Vali Mudalaya Mundru. Vali Mudalaya Mundru is Vata Pitta Kaba, Vali Alalayam. Vali Alalayam is the real Tamil word. The translation is the Vatam Pittam Kabam in Sanskrit. So if any imbalances, anything rises or decreases in Vali, in Alal, in Ayam, that will really gives the medicine. So if you want to treat Vali, Alal, Ayam,
again you have to look into that. Whether you want to treat the vali, we have to pacify the taste. If you want to increase the vada, we have to promote the taste of the pungent, bitter, astringent. So these kind of understanding only to select the medicine, or we have to select the food, both based on the 6 taste only. Next slide. So in Siddha, nutrition requirements are variable in each individual, which depends upon udal degam, constitution. Second thing, season, which period he is having the problem. The bronchial asthma in the winter season and the bronchial asthma in the summer season. The psoriasis in the winter season and the summer season actually differs. The psoriasis in the person is in the pitta dehi, or the psoriasis in vada dehi, the treatment protocol is definitely differ. So based on the udal degam, kalam, age, habitual, which phase of life he is having, whether she is a pregnant lady or a old age person or a small toddler, we have to understand. So which phase of life, and very importantly the digestive capacity of the individual. So these are all the very important point to select the food as well as select the treatment. So these are all the important point one should understand what type of food. Very importantly, I would like to say one thing. Nowadays in the WhatsApp medias and social media, there are many informations are pouring with this is good food for that, this is good food for the arthritis, and this good for food for the to reduce weight or improve the fertility. Lot of informations are pouring in the social media. One important point we should understand: no one, nowhere we can generalize food. You can't generalize food. A food for Siberia, this food is good for the Siberian ICA people only, it will be good. The food is good for the Beijing people, that those people only it is good. It is not good for the people who are living in Bengaluru or people who are living in the Chennai. That will different based on the agro variation, climatic variation, seasonal variation. Lot of things are there to select the appropriate food. So the generalization, globalization of the food is the real pathetic situation right now we are facing. We are taking food, the shawarma we are taking, pizza we are taking, noodle we are taking, which is not suitable to our own climate. If a person living in Beijing, if they take a rice noodle, that won't give a much problem. If a person living in Argentina, if a person living in some other places with a different climatic zone, they need their own, cult food they have to take. So this is the fundamental understanding we should have. Next slide. This is one point I usually think about this Kural in a different way. Miginum Kureinum Noisayum. In the concept of diabetic, if you take, there are two important things. One is Miginum Kureinum, I put it in that phrase. One is insulin resistance, where insulin is secreted well, but there is a resistance because of the obesity or a genetical parameter, whatever way the resistance is there, the insulin reduction. Another thing is insulin insufficiency. They don't have insulin. After becoming a diabetic, 50 to 60% of the insulin is not secreted well, where only the remaining portion should be utilized well. So the Miginum Kureinum Noisem is one of the very important couplet. On those days our philosopher had coined that word fantastically. So I would like to share that point. Next slide. Here in India, as right now, I really astonished with the visionarian statement, Darshan Jangarji. That's why we called him as a visionarian. He immediately started the conference with that we have to come with a good proposal which should be utilized for millions of people. He is not telling that we have to come up with a good medicine for myositis and giving to the actress. Not like that. He had told we had to come up with a good either a good food or a good recipe for people who are suffering a lot. So with a lot of people are suffering with anemia and nutrition. So why not you come up with the people? That's why I am putting here there are two different group of people are there. One is malnutrition, another is one also malnutrition. The spelling is little different. This is MAL malnutrition, that is MALL double malnutrition. In both conditions we are having lot of health issues. Even in we all think that non-communicable diseases is coming only with the obese people and highly malnutrition, that MALL nutrition people. Not like that. People in malnutrition without proper protein in their younger life, people without proper weight, stunted and wasted children, those are also prone for non-communicable diseases in the future. So we have to take care of this both end. In India, if you take nearly 67 to 70% of population still have a big challenges only with the non-communicable diseases. If you take 1,000 deaths happening in Bengaluru in one day, 670 deaths is because of either diabetes, hypertension, carcinoma, ischemic heart disease, or any one variety of cancers only. So we had to work on that very, very firmly, what best food we can give for the people who are having various non-communicable diseases. At the same time, if you take in India, 47-50% of people still are in anemia. 40% of people are having malnutrition because of the protein malnutrition. Even I still remember in my +1 or 10th or +1, I read about the kwashiorkor and marasmus. Both are protein malnutrition diseases. I really felt very bad. Even after 35 years, we are still facing the same kwashiorkor, marasmus for many people. What's happening? I used to read many books. I read, I think, Sapiens, one book written by U.R. Nurari. That famous book, very famous book, millions of books are sold that with the Sapiens. In that book only I still remember, he tell you the people are coming with very big scientific exploration, we are growing with the nanosciences, we are trying to step in the Mars, all these things. Even now, people are dying with starving, people are not getting 2 meals a day. Many people in Africa, India, Afghanistan, many countries, still people are starving. That's the real pathetic, pity thing. Mankind, one side we are growing like anything, another side still now people are living with us. Even in India, in Europe, many people are coming with, in Tripura, Uttarakhand, many people, we are still starving because of we don't have a proper food and nutrition. So our concentration should be with both the undernourished, malnourished people as well as people are going to face the non-communicable diseases. Next slide. Why it's happening for the NCD, the very important culprit is this high fructose corn syrup. People are, we are all people with the younger age, with 25 years, 20 years, 15 years, 18 years, all are going with chocolates. Why we are vehemently opposing the increased intake of chocolates and all in the younger people? Because of not because of the sweet alone, because of the high fructose corn syrup. If you take a milk chocolate, 95% of the chocolate is filled with high fructose corn syrup, which is giving lot of addiction to the young kid, and that high fructose corn syrup is the commonest cause for woman, girl child who are getting the polycystic ovarian syndrome. The irregularity in the periods is because of high intake of milk chocolates and this high fructose corn syrup only. So we should be aware about what is happening around the world. Nearly 2,000 to 2,500 crore rupees chocolates are selling in each year. Each brand I am telling, 2,500 crore chocolates are going. So why we had to get into the clutches of HFCP? The HFSCS is giving, this is the main reason behind the increased incidence of diabetes, increased incidence of polycystic ovarian syndrome, and various varieties of carcinoma. Next slide. So functional food is actually, it's not a choice, it's a mandate. It's becoming a need of the hour. That's why I told about 46% of all children below the age of 3 are too small for their age. We often think why we are not playing like Messi, why we are not playing like Mbappe. How they are in the 21 years old, that Mbappe is so much fit and running the pillar to pillar, nearly 13 to 14 kilometers in 1/2 time of football match. But Indian cannot able to run around that because our physique, we don't have much that physique, we don't have much that kind of energy is not there. Many people, many children is not having the actual what weight they should have, what height they should have, it's not nearly 45-50% of people. And 16 to now that percentage and all, I think more than 2 years before the data, currently if you take, the same data remains or little bit increase. One side we are growing, one side we are developing all things, but the data is not changing. Next slide. And we should understand what is it? Again we are telling the word functional food. Already I told, it's an oxymoron according to Tamil. We always call, if it is functional only it is food, but what is the word functional food means? Next slide. There are two words the modern world coin. One is functional food, another one nutraceutical. Functional food should resembles as a traditional food. It should look like a kanji. It should look like a dosa, or it should look like a idli and all. Functional food resemble like a normal food, but provide benefits beyond what is rendered by the nutrient component with some nutritive value more than the normal food, some preventive value more than the claims of the normal food, and possibly it should have some either preventive or proactive or curative effect should be there. That is called functional food. If you take ragi kanji, it's a porridge, but it is a functional porridge. Ragi won't give only energy, ragi won't give only fill your stomach, ragi that will give the calcium which is not given by the rice. If you compare the rice and ragi is 200 folds calcium more than the rice. If you take bajra it is called pearl millet, that pearl millet is having nearly 8 folds of iron more than the rice, where the oats is not having that count of iron in that, but bajra is having. So if you take a bajra kanji or ragi kanji, more than the normal rice and wheat, we will get calcium and iron. So every food we should think that whatever you are going to, right now you take some pakoda or some coffee or some other thing, we have to think whether it is good for me. First question, whether we know all the ingredients, put it in that. If you don't know the ingredients of the food served to you, don't take it. You should know what is in that inside. Do you know the ingredient of a milk chocolate? Everyone know? Nobody knows. You know it's sweet, you know cocoa is there, that only. But beyond that, hundreds of chemicals are inside. Whatever served to you, whatever food in front of you served, you should think that whether it is good for me. First point. Second question we have to think whether it is good for the environment. That also we have to think. If you take, it is good for you. But if you put the cover up, the outer cover, throw it in the soil, which is only, if you take the noodle packet, the noodle, they are advertising 2 minutes noodles, you can cook it in 2 minutes, you can eat it in 2 minutes, but the outer cover, if you throw it in the soil will digest only 25,000 years. The wrapper will digest only after 25,000 years, but you are taking for just 2 minutes. But you are throwing and giving harm to the environment, the earthworms, the unknown microbes, the unknown fungi, which is giving lot of work to the every roots of the plant, and which is giving all the nutrient, flavonoid, terpenoid, everything. It is coming from the soil through the earthworm, through the microbe, through the fungi, through the roots, and it come to the tree and the flowers and the fruits which we are eating. But for all the microbes and other things, we are giving harm. It's not correct. It's not justice. That's why after the COVID, the United Nations had given a clear guidance. The health is not only your physical health or yours only mental health. It's one health. What is one health? The health should, your physical health is important, yes. Your mental health is also important. But the environmental health is very, very important. The eco health is very, very important. So whatever food you are taking, you should think whether it is good for mind, whether good for my heart or good for my mind, and whether it is good for the earthworm or whether it is good for the microbe, whether it is good for the bird which is standing outside. All we have to think. Then only which is good, it will be a one health. So diet and nutrition is not only with the concept of healthy living of myself or yourself. We have to think about the healthy living of the microbe, healthy living of the earthworm. We should think on that line. Next slide. So which is only I told about what is functional food. Next slide. The functional taste. All the tastes are functional. Every taste is having therapeutic benefit, I am told. But very importantly, whenever I look into that, all the herbs, for the preparation of this lecture, I had gone through some Siddha books, traditional books yesterday, day before yesterday. So what we can tell, what we can, from the Siddha context, what we can tell, what new we can tell. When I calculated, nearly 86 Indian plant which is some therapeutic food concept. I had listed nearly 86 plants is having some of, we thought only 5 or 6 greens, but nearly 11, 12 greens are exclusively work as a functional green. So when I see all the thing, these two tastes is very, very important. One is bitter and astringent, which is almost we are forgetting the taste. We are not taking adequately or we are not taking frequently. We always either take sweet or salt or sour or pungent. We are not taking other taste. The bitter and astringent taste is having the real therapeutic benefit. Materials are there. Whatever is little bitter, in Siddha, there is one plant is called Nilavembu. The Nilavembu was much explored in the context of chikungunya, in the context of the liver diseases and various cancers, even in that swine flu, avian flu and COVID. Everywhere the Nilavembu was working very well. Why? The main important ingredient of the bitterness. In Ayurveda there is a one kashayam is there called as Panja Tikta Kashayam. Tikta means bitter. 5 bitters. In Siddha is also there the same, all the 5 bitters we use. Karivembu, curry leaf, Nilavembu, this Andrographis paniculata, Sivanar Vembu and Malai Vembu, Sarkarai Vembu, whichever is whatever the plant which is having high bitterness is really good for the health. Same thing in the diet, if you have a little bitter in taste, if you take Pavaka Puriyal, Pahakai, Momardia, Charantia, there are Momaridine, Charantin, 2 alkaloids are very important alkaloid which is really helpful for the diabetes. If you take curry leaf, the carbonazole alkaloid is actually working to prevent from IgT to diabetes mellitus. If a person is having impaired glucose tolerance, to prevent the person from IgT to full-blown diabetic, let them take regularly curry leaf. As a chutney, as a paste applied in the dosa, whatever thing, if you take curry leaf, it's really helpful. Fenugreek, if you take. Fenugreek is one of the major herb which is having soluble and insoluble fibers. It is having isoleucine, one particular amino acid, which is very helpful for diabetes management and which is very helpful for people, pregnant women, which is helpful for lactating women, which is helpful for dysmenorrhea. The one single herb called fenugreek, which is bitter in taste. If you chew it, you will feel the bitter taste. Same thing like plantain flower, the plantain stem which is having astringent taste and little astringent, kadukai, nellikai, all those is come under the bitter or astringent taste. Let us have that take home message. Every day we will take either some bitter or astringent taste. So I put it as a name as these are all very much, this is a first grade functional taste. Thank you. Next slide. The traditional, what are the traditional functional beverages there? We take tea, coffee, these are all the only beverage or it's available in India. Before the tea is coming, there are plenty of beverages were there. In Siddha, there is one book called Theran Kudinir. In the Theran Kudinir, which is not only for the therapeutic purpose, there are some Kudinir which can be taken according to the season. If a person living in a winter season with the Kabadehi, with little reduced pitta, they are prone for a sneezing, cold and wheeze. Those people should take Karisale Kudinir. Karisale is, I think, Vedalia calendulaceae, Eclipta alba. That Eclipta alba Kashayam, what they in Tamil we say, in Siddha we coined Karisale is coined as Degarajan. Yeah, Degarajan is another name. Degarajan means, Dega means body, Raja means king. So if you make it as a king, the Karisalangandi, which is one of the very, very important beverage. In another one traditional Siddha book called Siddha Marutuanga Churukam, they advise to take Musumusukai and Karisalangandi to take in the morning hours as a beverage. Instead of tea leaf, you put the Karisale leaf or Musumusukai leaf, make it as a decoction, take a drink. This is the actually functional beverage. Avare kudineer. For the people who are living in the dry land, they used to take this avare kashayam before working in the hot summer. Avare putirukka chavare kandadundo. One important phrase in Siddha. And there is one particular decoction made with avare as a primary ingredient, and other 7 ingredients are there. Avirai, Kundrai, Naval, Alaigadal, Muttam, Kostam, Meviya Maruda Tolum, Mirududarukka Kondu, Kaviri Nirum, Vachum, Kadal Nirum, Vachum Nane. That is the indication given for the Avare Kudinir. In the phrase, what they had told, if you take regularly Avare Kudinir, which will helpful for the diabetes as well as diabetes secule. Both it will good. There are plenty of researches is going on at National Institute of Siddha, Institute of Basic Medical Sciences, Dr. MGR Medical University, all those institutes now they are reassuring that Avare Kudanir is really good for microangiopathy due to diabetes mellitus. Why not we can take regularly Avare Kudanir? Instead of taking tea, coffee, take tea or coffee once in a while. But other days you can take Avare Kudanir, Musuke Kudanir, Karisale Kudanir. In the COVID time, everybody was advised to take the dry ginger coriander tea, Chukumalli coffee, or ginger with lime. And in the summer days, we always asked to take the Panakaram. Panakaram is actually made with the palm jaggery, lime and water, that's all. Which is coolant the body and which is good for the urinary tract infection. In the summer days, both the female as well as male will always encounter with the burning micturition, urinary irritation. For those people, Panakaram is important. Niragaram, which is now exploited very well by the scientific community. On those days, they would think that Niragaram, what is going to do? But Niragaram is nothing but the previous day cooked rice soaked with the water for 12 hours. The next day we have to squeeze it and more added with buttermilk with a pinch of salt. That drink is actually a very good probiotic. And the probiotics which is very, very important for the people, immunity, digestion, and even it will prevent many gastrointestinal diseases. And finally tea, we know instead of taking black tea, we can think about green tea also. Next slide. What are the functional food? Navara Arsi Kanji. Nyavara rice, which is in Ayurveda, Nyavara is one of the top rice variety. They advocated for many diseases. In Siddha, Mappalai Chamba, Kullakar, Kuliyadichan, Poongar, Kauni Arsi. These are all the traditional rice varieties which has been indicated by the Padartha Guna Sindhamani and Noilla and Eri exclusively for various ailments like Arroot Kanji, Panjatil Uta Kanji, that's called Panjamuta Kanji, Ragi Chattumavu Kanji, Kambangul, which are all, I had already told about the Ragi Kanji and Kambangul about its functional benefit. Instead of taking regularly Idli, Dosa, Pongal, Buri, why not we can take all these things as a functional food? So we have to, there are a lot of listeners from various Siddha medical colleges and Siddha doctors are listening this lecture. We should advocate to the patient, instead of taking regular meal or regular breakfast, they have to take these kind of functional food according to their constitution, according to their pre-existing diseases, according to their age and capacity, either any one of the functional food as a staple food for their treatment process. If you take it along with the treatment, whatever Churana, Legia, Thailam, Aristam we are going to give, parallelly if you give all these food as a functional food, that will help little bit and that will also catalyst that treatmental value during the treatment. Next. This is very importantly about the various variety of traditional rice varieties and traditional millets. These traditional millets actually still even now it is almost the entire country is re-look into that. After that the last 15-20 years of various farmers and scientific community continuously this evangelizing about the millets and rice. Now the entire international community, United Nations look into that. Now they are saying, hey, look into the millets. It's very important. They are all non-water intensive crop. They are all not used to, they are not using fertilizers and pesticides like other rice and wheat varieties. why not we think about these minor millets and traditional rice varieties for healthy living for the human as well as healthy living for the microbes and environmental earthworms, everything. So that's why traditional rice varieties and traditional millets now honored by the United Nations, and now even Siddha Day, why we are concentrating on minor millets and functional foods in the Siddha Day is because of that both only give the most appropriate health to the human as well as the environment. If you see the entire traditional millet, thinai, which is having golden yellow color, which is having beta carotenes in the as one of the ingredient in the thinai arisi, which is good for the eyes. If you take varagu, by nature it is having little bit more fibers, a little bit more protein than other grain, and which is also good for the diabetes. If you take samai, there is also little lower glycemic millet. Kuduraivali, that is also lower glycemic millet. Kambu, which is a hematinic millet, I can say. Kelvaragu, which is a calcium supporting millet. And Panivaragu, Kadekani, every ingredient, every millet is having beyond its nutritive value, some kind of therapeutic benefit will be there. If you take like that traditional rice variety, Mapalai Chamba will increase your vigor, increase your weight and increase your strength. If you take Kauni, Karupu Kauni is a black rice, and the black rice is having anthocyanins in that as one of the ingredient. The black color is because of the anthocyanins content, and that is actually an antioxidant, and that antioxidant will help as a free radical scavenger, which is good for the cancer treatment. As well as Katiyanam, Poongar, Nyavarai, Kullakar. These Kullakar and Kuliyadichan is good for the woman. People who are pregnant and people who are lactating women, those people can take this Kullakar and Kuliyadichan, and Tuyamali Chamba is another one important traditional rice varieties. Next slide. What are all the functional fruits? Navel, papaya. We see if you take fruit, everybody is think about only oranges, or you think about only apple, or only think about nowadays people are thinking about kiwi, strawberry, blueberry, blackberry. But all our traditional functional fruits having better ingredient, better constituents than the strawberry and blueberry and other things. People are thinking about, talking about the blueberry, they are buying the dried blueberry in Chennai for 450 rupees per 100 grams. Per kg is 4,500 of blueberry. They are importing from California and selling it in a bottle, 100 grams bottle, and rich people are going and taking that blueberry dried. It is good for antioxidant. It's a good source for my cancer prevention and all. If you see the novel Navapalam, that is very rich of anthocyanins in your. If you take as a fresh, you will get a purple blue in your tongue because of that anthocyanins only. So we are not exploiting the therapeutic benefit of Navapalam. Same papaya, amla. Amla is the richest source of vitamin C, not only vitamin C. Beyond that, there are many therapeutic benefits. Even now, it's not fully exploited by the scientific community. And Madhulai, recently I studied that it can be equivalent to the SSRI drug, which is prescribed for the psychiatric issues. Equivalent to the psychiatric drug called some Serenase, or how to improve the happiness hormone. For that psychiatry they use SSRI. Madhulai is actually helping as SSRI. Maybe the potency may be little reduced, but it is really helpful as an SSRI. So we should think, if we have a stress, if you have more stress, not having good sleep, or if you have a paranoidal thinking, or if you have some compulsive disorder, you take your psychiatric medicine. Along with that, why not you take the Madhulai juice? You take the proper psychiatric medicine in either Siddha, Ayurveda or Allopathy. Along with that, you can take Madhulai juice. This Mulsitapalam, which is actually came from the South America, that is actually now very well studied for anti-cancer property. So these kind of functional fruits, we should take it in our day-to-day life. Next slide. These are the functional spices. Spices is actually the very important ingredient of Indian culinary, and all the spices is having some therapeutic benefit which is we are not even imagine. This sadharana curry leaves, very common curry leaf which is used by the Indian cooking in all the diet, which is having very important alkaloid called carbonazole, which is actually good for the diabetes prevention. If your father and mother is diabetic, your father or mother diabetic, your child is growing only 15, 18 years, if you continuously give the curry leaf as one of the ingredient in some kind, either you can crush it as a chutney or dry it and powder it and take it with the rice and all, you will get one, is you can get your iron content, another one it is having the prevention of diabetes mellitus. Like cumin seed, black seed, that is otherwise called as karunjiragam, kaloji seed, is now studied for the triple negative cancers. Triple negative cancer is actually the one of the very easily spreadable cancer. Earlier, if it is triple positive, then it won't spread much fast. That triple negative cancer is always having a little fear whether it will invade to the lungs or invade to the liver and all. For that, now the thymoquinone of the black seed they studied, or we can use the black seed as a prevention of breast cancer. We can use it even during the treatment, 10 drops or 15 drops of kaloji oil now they advise because it is having more of thymoquinone. Like turmeric, we all aware about that. Pepper, dry ginger, all these things some therapeutic benefit. So spices is actually one of the major therapeutic functional ingredient of our southern India as well as in northern India. Next slide. I had given few diseases as an example, how for the diabetes. Next slide. These are all the plants based on the taste, for the bitter taste, and how best we can select the herb as based on the taste and given for exclusively for particular disease. Even if you take the Tinospora cardifolia, sendil, which is very good for the prevention of gluconeogenesis, glucose from the fat converted into glucose called gluconeogenesis. Tinospora cardifolia actually prevent you. People who are obese and turn into a type 2 diabetes mellitus, Tinospora cardifolia is important. And very key interesting factor, it won't reduce the blood sugar alone in its action. Beyond that, it is having immunomodulation action. Beyond that, it is having some microvascular damages prevention activity. So each and every ingredient is directly won't reduce the sugar, only hypoglycemic action is not there. Based on the taste, based on the element which is either pacifying or promoting, based on that, which is helpful for a holistic approach to the particular disease. Next slide. Like Ratta Kodipi, if you take, it's because of the excess pitta and dysfunction of heat in the body. And for that, next slide. This Sarpagandhara, Valfia, Serpentina, Vellapunda, Allium, Sativam, Sembarati, Hibiscus rosa sinensis, every Tulasi, Pund, Selanica, everything is having either reduce the pitta with the bitter and pungent taste. This is the understanding. Next slide. If you go to the heart disease, we always feel that Vayu is the major bottom line of Irudrogam. So to reduce the Vayu, what we have to do? Next slide. All these Andrographus, paniculata, Crocus sativus, these are all the plant which is actually tasted bitter. See, again I am telling this, all the herbs predominantly is having bitter taste. So the bitter taste is very important for prevention of all the non-communicable diseases. On those days, how the Siddhas and how our ancestors understand this food is good for that, this herb is good for that only by tasting it. If the taste is a little bitter, then they cautiously approach the plant, whether it will heal the disease or it will give, always we should remember, toxic plants also more bitter. If it is very, very bitter, they think it is having cytotoxic action. It may have some other toxic element also there. Whether it can be used as a medicine in a smaller quantity or we have to avoid. They learn it from the nature, what the bird is taking, what the small insects and other thing is taking. With that they understand it is good for the health, for the human also. Nowadays that pharmacological study with the small animal, we are understanding how best it is in the metabolism and all. On those days, those kind of science is not evolved. At the time they understand from the nature when it get ripened. after the ripened condition, which bird is coming and taking. These kind of understanding only evolved with what best taste is good for the diseases and all. Next slide. This is actually for the respiratory disease. People are having swasakasam. Next slide. So in the swasakasam also, these kind of white text, justicia, adadoda, tulasi, eclipta, alba, all these plants based on the taste only they are taking. Next slide. For the cancer. Next slide. So these are all the herbs based on the taste and based on the element which the plant has been influencing, based on that it is taking. According to the modern science, if you look into that, whether it is having cytotoxic effect, whether it is reducing the benefiting the apoptosis or reducing some gene expression, all based on the taste only. So first we understand according to the Siddha and Ayurvedic principle. Parallelly we look into that scientific eyes, analytical eyes, whether it will having N50, it will N kapha edukda, N spabi edukda, otherwise it will having P53 expression reducing. All we are linking into the secondary way. Next slide. This is another important point I would like to give. We have to understand about our gut biome. Here, if I am here, you may think I may have my, if you think about my mind, in my body, 45% of the gene is not with mine. The 45% of this gene is with various microbes, which I am hosting in my gut and small intestine and large intestine. So, the ownership of the body is not with one particular person. The ownership is with another 45 partners are there in everybody's body. So whatever food you are taking, you have to think about that partners also. You may feel taste in your salivary bit which is good for you, but it might be good, not good for your lactobacillus, not good for your salmonella, all these things. That current world has very strongly emphasizing, they put it as a gut biome as a second genome. So whichever is suitable to the second genome also we have to select. That is the fundamental principle for that. So whatever food you are taking should not give any harm to the gut biome. You are taking some noodle, or if you are taking some pizza, burger, which is having mayonnaise, or which is having monosodium glutamate, or potassium nitrate, do you know whether it will be helpful for your own bacteria or hosting in your stomach? We don't know. It may harm to that genome or harm to that particular bacteria. So we have to think whatever food we are taking, which is might be taste to you, whether it is good for the second genome, we have to look into that. Next slide. Next slide. This is a very important slide. We have to think about that. This is nothing but our feces. They put it as a cake and a cream like that, because nowadays they are transplanting the feces from the healthy person. From a healthy person, they take the feces and implanting into the people who are not having proper bacteria in the body. Even FDA approved a tablet from the feces also. Why I am putting this slide is very, very important, because they understand some unintended effect with the fecal transplant they found. It is not only giving microbes to the intestine. People who are getting the transplanted feces are behaving like the person, the donor person. How it is possible? They are just transplanting the feces, but the person is behaving like a donor. How they finally understand the microbes is going beyond the blood-brain barrier, going to the brain. So whatever my bacteria is inside, not only work in your gut alone, it is working in your brain also. Nowadays, for the autism children, they are completely working on the bacteria present after the weaning period. While during only taking breast milk, they won't get much bacteria inside. During the weaning period, bacteria are all coming. Some imbalances in that only is giving the autism issue. Very recently they found, and now they are concentrating whether we can able to heal the autism through balancing the gut biome. This is one of the research. So we have to look into that also. Next slide. In probiotics, in Siddha, there are plenty of probiotics there. I had given few things about Niragaram, Annakadi, Paranganji, Arumada Annakadi, Kadalai Pulipunir, all are fermented. or either 6 months, 3 days, 4 days, even Nel Kal, Arisi Kal was used in the Pattupat. In Sangha Ilakyam, there is one phrase, one song told about exclusive about Arisi Kal, Nel Kal. They ferment for a week or 15 days, then they took the liquid and they take it. That is actually for the that rice wine and the paddy wine in worldwide, in China and Japan, they took every day. That arsicle is indicated in 1700 years before in Tamil, where it's called Pattupat. So this is one of the very, very important area we have to work on that line. Next slide. In Siddha Pidiyanaga Vidya also, we had a very important phrase, Neer Suriki, more Periki. More we had, the buttermilk we had to take it in lot. Neer Suriki, more Puriki, Neyuriki, Unbavardam, Perurekil Pome Pidi. The disease won't go, this disease won't come, and this is will go earlier if you take regularly boiled water a lot, as well as diluted buttermilk and very little ghee with heat, and take the soluble part of the ghee you have to take. That will heal your health, heal your diseases and keep your health very well. Next slide. There are a few thoughts, I will tell one or two thoughts and I will close my presentation. Next slide. We have to learn the science. Learn the traditional science and modern science. Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and either Sujok or Kampo or Chinese system, all the traditional system of medicine one side, and modern science also. According to me, every traditional system arises not with from the God or not with the from the one person teaches everything to others, not like that. It's really grown because of the love and affection to the next person. You think about any system of medicine, whether Ayurveda or Siddha, how it might be evolved, it evolved because of the fundamental unconditional love with the other person. He is suffering. We have to help something. I forgot the name of, I think, Margaret, some very big anthropologist in UK. She told about what is the best thing in the human, how the human mankind evolved very well. One person asked a question. So she answered, you might have think about because of the sixth sense, because of the intellect, or because we are standing and because we become Homo erectus, we are standing, all might be the answer. But she told no. The broken leg, the man with the broken leg, he lived after 20 years after the broken leg also. She simply answered, a man with a broken leg, after that, after 15-20 years also he lived. She answered. Everybody asked, what's the answer? We didn't understand. ஒரு கால் உடைஞ்சு போன ஒருத்தன் அதுக்கப்புறமா 20 வருஷம் வாழ்ந்ததுதான் மனித குலத்தின் மாற்றத்திற்கான முக்கியம் அப்படின்னு. What it actually means, if a leg broken of a deer or if a leg broken in a lion or a tiger, it will die with starving or he can't move anywhere. But if a man, if his leg broke, either some other man taking him to some other place or some other person taking food for him. That has happened, isn't it? So that is the fundamental love and affection. So with that only all the traditional systems evolved. So we should learn the science. People, the Salk, the polio vaccine founder Salk, he had given the drops to his own child. Nobody is accepted to take the vaccine. But he had given the vaccine to his own children, 2 child he had given. That's why now nobody is having polio leg, all of us. In my classmate, 2 persons are polio vaccine, a polio person were there. In my son's classmate, nobody is having polio because of the Salk. For me, Salk is also like Agastya and Charagar. Salk is also all like our 18 Siddhar only. So whoever is having with the science want to evolve the benefit of the science for the grassroots of people, or the sages or the saint. So we should learn the science. Next slide. So like Charles Darwin and sages Tirumoolar, both are similar to me. Charles also on those days he only told that no, this all not miracle is coming. It's because of the evaluation from the single cell to double cell. It's all coming. Charles very boldly told. Same thing, Tirumula said, Udambal aliyir, uyiral aliyar. Udambai valarkum ubaya maridde, udalai valartene, uyir valartene. The phrases looks alike to me. Both the Charles as Tirumula. So we have to learn the signs from the Charles also. We have to learn signs from the Tirumular, Charaga, Agasthyar. So we have to learn the signs from both them. Next slide. We have to listen to the world. What is happening around the world? What are the signs, what they are going right now, coming with that. We have to listen to the world. Next slide. This Yu Tun is a Nobel laureate on 2016. She got it for this invention of artemisinin. With her 35 years of continuous research, which is taken from the traditional Chinese folk remedy, she had finally evolved the medicine called artemisinin, which has saved nearly 25 million people with the reverse pharmacological research. This, the left one, the star anise, we all know it is used is the biryanis. But with the star anise only, right now that asamaltavir Tamiflu is available in the market. We are all thinking only it is good for the biryani. Westerners took the shikimic acid from the star anise and fractionalized the asamaltavir. Even in COVID days, all the influenza, the people are nowadays using asamaltavir from the star anise only. We have to listen what the current contemporary world is looking into the traditional system of medicine. Next slide. For that we need the reverse pharmacology. Professor Ashok Vaidya, he often tell the word reverse pharmacology. The reverse pharmacology, we have to take the dispassionate, meticulous lead from the traditional inferences and do plenty of research, come up with the compound. This is the reverse pharmacology. So we have to take the dispassionate, meticulous lead from the people, from the folk, from the tradition, from that, and give back to them with the lesser cost, with the lesser, I think, available to everyone. That is the fundamental bottom line of reverse pharmacology. Next slide. And very importantly, we have to love the people. The diet and nutrition, all these only for the, not for the upper class people. We have to think. Even the tagline, the International Year of Millets, everybody is talking about it's good for diabetic, it's good for the cancers and good for the other things, all blah blah blah. But we should think whether it is good for the common man, whether it will eradicate the diabetes from him, whether it can give preventing some anemia and malnutrition. So we should love the people. Next slide. That left person, the people who are in public health may aware about the Dr. Abhay Bang. He is still the Uttarakhand and Rajasthan area. He is a Gandhian and he worked for the, he is a MD pulmonologist and he worked for the people. He found one particular breath counter. There is no CT scan at that time. There is no X-ray machine everywhere. He found one small device. He just count the breath. If you are having dyspnea, if you have a tachypnea, he just remove the. With that education, he saved thousands of people, whether they are having pneumonic cough or it's a normal bronchitis and all. With that, he saved thousands of people. That is really love the people. That's why he could able to find this thing. So this Siddha Day, this National Pre-Siddha Day, in that we should learn the science, we should listen to what the other scientific people are doing, we should love the people. That is important message to all. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your mind-blowing session, sir. Next
Let's invite respected Professor Arirama Murthy to honor our mesmerizing keynote speaker, Dr. G. Shivaraman sir, with shawl and memento as a token of gratitude. Thank you, sir. I call upon Dr. R. Manikavasagam, sir, to deliver the speaker introduction for the technical session 2.
Thank you. Next we call upon Dr. Padma Priya Ranganath to deliver her session. It is my privilege to introduce her. She is the president for CTMR Chennai, then Siddha family physician at Amurdi Siddha Clinic from 1993 onwards. Then she having lot of presentation and a lot of repetition, especially in the CME and workshops, and even she presented one paper conducted Siddha lifestyle and nutrition workshop at Sofia, Bulgaria in September 2019. Then other achievements means she have written lot of articles in newspaper. One of the eminent marked thing is Nalam Tharum Mooligai Samayal and ஆயிலை அதிகரிக்கும் ஆரோக்கிய உணவுகள். இந்த ரெண்டு she authored these 2 books. So with this I invite Dr. Padma Priya to deliver his lecture. We already begin the time, so I request madam to within the time. Thank you, madam.
You talk.
Hello?
Yeah, able to hear, ma'am.
My video is not coming. I'll talk this one. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My topic is going to be Siddha diet and nutrition for a healthy life. This World Siddha Day, my prayers to Siddha Agatya and all other Siddhas. Siddha Agatya is not only confined to Tamil Nadu, he is a guru of Java. Java people consider him as a guru, as their national guru. Today my topic is going to be Siddha concept of human body, Siddha dietetics, how food can be used as medicine and how medicine can be used as food, nutritional foods for different age groups, and Kaya Kalpam, which is the hallmark of Siddha system of medicine. So what is Siddha conception of a human body? Siddha Sirmular in his verses, he has written 3000 verses, and in that about 10 to 15 verses he emphasized the need for a good healthy body. He says that human body is a temple and we should take care of it. He says once, I was under the impression that the body need not be protected since it is perishable. Of late, I found that something is inside it and that something is all pervading entity and I should take care of the body. So the Siddhas found they were such, with the health of a healthy body and mind only, we can attain that realization. That was the entire Siddha science revolves under this great realization, and for that the healthy body was very important for them. This Annamaya Kosam is the soul, vehicle of the soul. The koshas consist of 5 layers actually, and the physical layer is Annamaya Kosa, and other 4 are energy, 4 are energy bodies. We can't see them with the eyes; they are very subtle. So the physical body that represents the flesh, blood, muscle, bones are all nourished by what we eat. So what we eat is very important. The traditional system of medicine stresses on the importance of food in health and disease. Balance of 3 humors, the 3 doshas is achieved by the food we take. Understand food is not based on the calories, carbohydrate, fat and protein. It is understood on the base of doshas, which is perceived by the 6 tastes and 5 Buddhas, the 5 Pancha Buddhas and 3 doshas, and the 6 tastes are very important. So this system of medicine, all diseases arise on the physical level due to the improper or weak digestion. Many of the digestive problems we face today are because of the wrong food combination and faulty eating habits. We are not aware of the proper food combination. Combining improper food results in indigestion, fermentation, putrefaction and gas formation. So what are the improper food combination? Some of the examples, see milk and yogurt with food, fish with milk, starchy food with fruits, lemon with cucumber milk, like that. And in certain disease condition, we ask not to take certain type of food because it interacts with the drugs we are taking, and we call this patiyam. And certain vegetables are there which are called, which is only used during the patiyam. That's diet restriction in the system of medicine. So what is the concept of logical eating? Eating meal combined in a particular way enhances digestion and decreases the strength of stress on the human system. Some food are healthy and wholesome, and when combined, they become a poison. Too much of combination of food together will create food poison. Many diseases like anemia, fever, food poisoning, common cold, respiratory infections, skin problems, peptic ulcer are due to wrong combination of food. Spicy, pungent food causes hyperacidity, mouth ulcer, piles, pain in the abdomen and burning exudation. Too much of starchy food also causes diarrhea, constipation, and a lot of gas formation. So what is sequential eating? There is a proper method of eating. We call this a sequential eating. And then traditional methods recommends eating sequence for a better digestion and absorption of food. Sweet dishes has to be taken in the beginning of the meal. Sour, bitter, pungent should be taken in the middle, and astringent at the end. It is advised to end the meal with a glass of buttermilk. But all we are doing is a faulty food habit. We shouldn't never drink ice water along with the meal, combining fruits with the cooked meal, drinking aerated drinks along with food, having ice creams and desserts at the end of the heavy meal, which causes digestion problem. So the dessert concept is a very bad idea. We should avoid doing that. And mixing fruits and milk, that is also some good thing. Right eating habits is eat according to the digestive capacity with love and gratitude. Include all 6 tastes in your food. Eating at least 3 hours before going to bed is ideal thing, and eat at least 2 hours is desirable. Eat according to the seasons and the climate and the place where you are living. Do not eat in a hurry and do not watch TV or reading while eating. And have a short walk is a good thing after a meal to digest. So Siddha nutritional guideline is as follows: Teren Noya Viti. He has said that we have to have only this raw plantain thing. Raw plantain is very rich in iodine, and the food prepared before day is not good because it creates this food allergy or something, or food poisoning. And we have to eat according to how much we can digest, and we have to boil water. Earlier speaker also spoke about all those things. And the second thing is only eat twice. Now we are talking very much big about the intermittent fasting. Those days, many years ago, Siddhas have said about this, and they have said about the yam. Yam is a very good tuber, and very few food has this prostrogen thing in their prostrogen hormone in their food, and one of the food is yam. So it's very important to have yam regularly in our food. And we'll see food is the best medicine, how food can be used as a medicine. So Tere Anakavidi said this, drinking warm water, those who are having the digestive problem or respiratory problem, if they drink hot water, they can improve their immune system also. Then this Panjamuti Kanji is one of the best protein based kanji. We can have it regularly. Medicinal, there are many medicinal porridges. We have forgot about this, and we are, for the breakfast we are only having idli and dosas. That is full of starch and carbohydrates that increase us. There's a lot of diabetic problem because of that. We can have lot of kanjis. In fact, it's very good prebiotic, and the moisture content in the kanjis helps to support the brain function. So this, hello, I'm audible.
Continue, ma'am. You are audible.
Hello.
Yeah, you can continue, please.
Okay.
Yes, audible.
Yes. There are different types of kanjis like kollu kanji, arusi kanji, and one is a very important thing is ilai kanji. This ilai kanji is made up of this gotula, this vallare kirai, and it's a very good functional food, vendai kanji. And now there is a lot of interest in this lipid-based nutrition. The children with malnutrition, not only malnutrition, even in high income groups, this lipid-based nutrition is very important because essential fatty acid is very important for the brain function. So we have traditional foods like this, many things, peanut urundai and pottakallai, these are yellow urundai, and this tinai thing is all very rich in protein, and it's very, we use with making with ghee and jaggery. Ghee and jaggery helps in the, jaggery is a very good immunity developing factor is there in jaggery. So this for protein, energy, malnutrition, and this malnutrition, these type of urundais are very important. We should give them to the children. And for healthy snacking, the sundal varieties made of this various type of legumes are very important. We can have it for the healthy snacking. We can replace this. And for traditional snacks also, we use this lot of ulur dal, besan flour with a good quality of rice, butter, and also these are the best alternate for snacking also. And we give lot of emphasis for the women health. This we divide into period. One list is during the periods, and another is the ovulatory time, and for the luteal phase. According to the hormonal changes, this medicine also works. So once during the menarche, we have used the habit of having all these type of food, and this helps. We actually made the girl ready for the conception from the very early age itself, so that we don't face any infertility problem. Now we are facing lot of infertility problems. We should revive these kinds of food actually. This vendai kali or kanji are very good examples for this. And elderly nutrition also plays an important fact, because elderly people, they are prone to many type of disease, and they will be using dentures and all those things, so they could not digest food properly. So easily digestible soups we should give them. Another thing, they will be having a lot of constipation problem. We should prepare food according to their nutrition needs. Actually, and this is a millet week, a millet year, and millets are very good source of mineral, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus. Magnesium is a very good thing for heart attack and all those things, risk of heart attack. For phosphorus is the development of body tissue, energy, nutrition, and finger millets is a rich source of iron, calcium, and protein and antioxidants. It is a very prebiotic food, and millet food holds a lot of water content, and it's very good for constipation. And last, it's gluten free also, so it's very good. But there is also a traditional method of using millet. We should prepare that in a traditional way. That is very important, because millet also has anti-nutrient factor also. So it is always good to germinate or puff before using it, and we should always roast the millet, or we should ferment the millet and use it, so that the anti-nutrient property will be decreased. So milk and milk products, milk is very good. We should spice up the milk. Now this turmeric latte is very famous all world over. Curd is a source of, it's good in diarrhea and dysentery, and it stimulates, it's a very good appetizer also. Buttermilk is a very good probiotic food, and is used in all many for piles and hemorrhoids and duodenal ulcer, urinary disorders. It is a very good medicine as well as a food. So Siddha doesn't say no to non-vegetarian food, but we should limit the quantity of non-vegetarian food. And because non-vegetarian food also has lot of benefits and it's used in the medicines also, you can use it judicially. And ghee is a very misunderstood food. Ghee helps in memory, strength, and good complexion, good for eyes also. It is a good brain, blood-brain barrier. So a lot of medicines like pediatric medicines, especially karisalai nei, vallarai nei, venpusini nei, we have lot of medicine ghee-based, so that it will work in the brain very easily. So spices are the important thing in our system of medicine. When we make sweet dishes, we may use cardamom, saffron, cinnamon, like that. When we go for a spicy thing, we use other type of, so that they balance the dosha in the food. And vegetables and greens, we have lots and lots of vegetable and green. For Manatakali, Solanum nigrum is very good for stomatitis and ulcers. Karisalai for the liver disease. Moringa is a very good iron based, it's very calcium and protein. And we have lots of kira, pulicha kirai, pasalai kirai, they're very good in for this. They contain a lot of trace elements and it's very good for health also. So we now see how medicine can be used as a food. There are many medicines in Siddha medicine which can be used as a food. First is Ashtachuranam. It contains all the 8 ingredients. It can be had with a morsel of hot food. It's a very good appetizer. Those who don't have any hunger, they can try this. It's good for indigestion as well. Those who have this irritable bowel syndrome or suffering from amneic dysentery, they can have Sundaivatral Churanam. This can be had with a buttermilk, or we can mix 1 teaspoon of this powder in kanji and can have it in diarrhea and dysentery. So Siraga Churanam purifies all the internal parts of the body, maintains the lipid, controls the blood pressure, and suppresses the H. pylori and blocks the stomatic acid. Many studies have done, there is about this Siragam, which helps in H. pylori. Then Tirikatiku Churanam, this is anti-allergy, carminative, and nowadays we give Tirikatiku Churanam is given as a tea mixed with jaggery. It's a very good beverage. It is mainly the stipili is very good antihistamine properties. Stipili has a very antihistamine properties and it's very good for cold and cough. Agayapodi is another ingredient made up of all type of medicines like Manatakali, Vatal, Vapam, neem flower and all those things. It's also helpful in the digestion. We can use it with hot rice, or with we can accomplishment for idli, dosa, or we can put it as in the porridge and have it. Peptic ulcer, we have Pilgrim fruit can be used as a good peptic ulcer. It acts very good on peptic ulcer. And Turuji Manapaha, this is the bitter lime, and Madule Manapaha are used in indigestion, vomiting, and anorexia. And for when we have disease, when we have certain type of disease, certain food is used to correct the disease. So if we have a liver disease, the pitta will be dearranged. For that, we can use food like tender coconut water, vegetable soup, pomegranate soup. Sugarcane juice is very important, very good for liver correcting food. Buttermilk, and you should use green gram a lot. We can use green gram. Avoid this hot, pungent, spicy food. So food for easy ball for elderly people or with pregnant people also. If you have constipation, we can have sabja seeds in a hot milk, so it will ease the bowel movement. Fenugreek powder is very helpful. Fiber-rich foods like millet can be used for bowel movements. For diabetes, turmeric and this Nellika Indian gooseberry is effective in controlling the blood sugar. Curry leaves break down the starch and controls the glucose entering the bloodstream. Bitter gourd, cluster beans, and kovakadus, bimbi are helpful in managing diabetes. Fenugreek is rich in fiber and reducing diabetics. Black chana dal is one of the top in glycemic index. It reduces the blood sugar very low. This arthritis, we have modakaratan. It can be made as a soup or dosa. And Kandantipili rasam is very good for body pain and knee pain. And this dry ginger and chittaraita, lesser galangal are very good anti-inflammatory agents. They can be made as a tea. and have it morning and night. It will reduce the pain. And Perendai, Cysis quadrangularis is very good for treating osteoporosis and arthritis as well. Food for osteoporosis, ragi and kambu are very rich in calcium and increases the bone mass. And sesame seed, I have to say about the sesame seed. Sesame seed is a wonderful food. It has a lot of calcium as well as iron in it, and we have to use it often. And again, Perenda is help in strengthening the bone cartilage. And lipid reducing foods, coriander seeds and leaves, barley, millets, and cinnamon is very good in helping the lipids, lowering of lipids. Then great care has been given for the postpartum food, because women lose lot of calcium and blood during the pregnancy, and great importance is given for the lactation food. Every family has 2-3 type of recipes, so we should all document those type of recipes. And fenugreek increases the lactation, not only in the postpartum food. Pre-conception food is important, prenatal food is important. We should give all importance to during pregnancy also and after pregnancy also. Food for respiratory infection, karpuravalli thing, we can make it as a pachadi and have. Garlic pods with honey. Garlic is very good in sulfur. It will help in throat infections. Tipili rasam is a very good antihistamine. Toothvalai rasam, it is bronchodilator. And herbal coffee like chituratai, ginger, coriander, it will all help in respiratory infections. And last thing, Kayakalpam. Kayakalpam, we can see it is like a hallmark of Siddha system of medicine, because only if we have a good body, we can achieve many things. We can achieve the divinity in us. So Siddhas have given great importance to Kayakalpam, and there are 2 types of Kayakalpam, special, and one is general and one is special. So special is when we have the illness, we use a special type of Kayakalpam. Another thing used was strength and immunity. So mode of action, it's antioxidant, preventing photoaging, preventing atheroscleral changes, better gas exchange, better circulation, and strengthening of the motor neurochemical transmitters. It gives high intellectual functions like GABA and melatonin. So the general Kayakalpam, everyone knows, ginger with honey and dry ginger in the noon, and Termila chibula kadkai powder in the night. This is a package of absorption, assimilation, and elimination of food. A perfect digestion is maintained with this combination. So Venkusini is a very good Kayakalpam thing. It helps in many disease. It is a very cooling agent, as well as is used in cough, body heat also. It works in both conditions. Then Karisala, everyone knows it's a very good liver tonic. And Centella asiatica, many face creams nowadays comes with this Centella asiatica. Karisale Karpam. And stress, Pacoba for the stress, Brahmi, and Maridam Pattai for the complication of atherosclerosis and diabetes, as well as in cardiac ailments. And culture and food, how this culture is linked with food. There is a strong relationship between culture, food, nutrition, and health. Consumer culture has made a big change in our dietary habits. We let advertisement to tell what is healthy. Our family has lost the art of understanding our body needs and preparing healthy food. Food therapy is a tradition, and we have a vast knowledge of it, and we should all document it. We should incorporate ancient wisdom in a modern kitchen. Tradition food need to return to the rightful place in a modern menu. And conclusion is, any treatment is successful only when nutrition care is given due importance. Medicinal foods are cost-effective way of taking care of the health and comforts of a home. Food is medicine and medicine is food. And I like to give a small tribute to Dr. Tirunarayanan, who has done a lot of work for the system of medicine. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity. I thank CCRS Bangalore and TDU for giving this opportunity to participate in this event. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your enlightening and informative session. Let's invite Dr. R. Manikavasagam, Research Officer, SCRU,
Hello.
to honor our guest, Professor Harirama Murthy, with shawl and memento. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Those who are present in person and online. At the outset of conclusion of this webinar, I would like to again thank our first of all I wish to thank Ministry of Ayush to accorded to celebrate the Siddha Day in the commemoration of Siddha Agathiyar birthday as a Siddha Day. So this is the pre-Siddha Day event. Then I wish to thank our Honorable Minister and Honorable Secretary, then Honorable Special Secretary and officials from Ministry of Ayush. Then I would like to thank our beloved Director General Additional Charge and who is also the Director, National Institute of Siddha, for always given the guidance and support. Then I would also thank people, those who are in CCRS headquarters for their support for making this event successful. Then I would like to thank the people in TD University, especially Vice Chancellor, the Darshan Sangam sir, then Professor G. Hariramurthy sir, then B.N. Prakash, and those who are who have in presence of this memorable event. Then I would like to thank my boss and colleague Dr. M. Kannan and our SCR staff, especially Dr. Iswaran and Dr. Ilakya, those who are supported very well and planned manner. And I would also like to support our office staff also here and somebody in our unit also. So if and I would also like to thank the person who assist from TDU for making this presence and IT support. So Jobin and Shashank, thank you. Vinay, thanks all. And if anybody I left, those who are I wish to thank and wish you a happy New Year and wish you a happy Siddha Day. Thank you. We can conclude this webinar with the national anthem. Thank you very much.
शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 जय
Thank you. Thanks, Sunanda.